Welcome to Chit Chat with T. Let's get into this live. Let's get into it. Got a full show.
I'm deep in the glorified screens. It's a party inside. Sometimes we need solutions, and sometimes it's just a vibe. In good chat therapy.
Okay, y'all. So welcome to the live. Let's get into this late night tea. All right. So first up, we're right on into it. First on the docket, we have Miss Angel Reese, who's an American professional basketball player. She played for Chicago. She plays for Chicago Sky in the WNBA. She's known for her dynamic play and significant achievements in college basketball, including leading LSU to a national championship in 2023. So I just wanted to acknowledge her. I thought it was noteworthy, honey, because not only is she competitive on the court and fabulous, she's also fabulous and fly in the Victoria's Secret runway, right? So I thought it was noteworthy because she is the first female athlete to become a Victoria's Secret model. So kudos to her, and she's been a true trailblazer. Now she's definitely done way more than this, but I just thought this was noteworthy. So again, kudos to Miss Angel Reese. Whoop whoop. Oh, she looks pretty. It's a pretty girl. But anyway, she got a lot going on, and I know she even helps her family back home. She's helping people get through college. So she's not only making money, she's definitely helping others. So kudos to her again for her achievements on the court and off the court. So kudos to her. All right, so let's move right on into our tea, y'all. Let's get right on to it. So, speaking of trailblazers and name takers, let's get into our girl Cardi B. Now, it wouldn't be a lie without some Cardi B drama, honey. So, yeah, so Cardi B. Speaking of Cardi B's birthday, actually was she turned 33, I believe October the 11th. So, happy birthday to Cardi B! Happy belated birthday. And you see in the cute little picture there, she has her culture and cute little wave. We can't see Blossom, but she's holding Blossom. So again, happy birthday to Cardi B. Happy belated Cardi. Happy belated Cardi birthday to Cardi. I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying, y'all. So happy birthday to her. And there they are. They look so cute. Yes. Okay. So yeah, so now we've touched on her birthday. I want to say her birthday, but now let's get into the actual tea. So Cardi B recently did a live, and it was a long live, but we're going to touch on a couple of the topics. In particular, I thought was noteworthy. She spoke on the why she delayed the video for the pretty and petty video. She spoke on why she delayed that. So let me play the clip, and then I'm going to come back to my commentary. Because again, I thought it was absolutely noteworthy. Let's get it. Let's go.
Now, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I was gonna do a Instagram video to Pretty and Petty as Fuck, but this is how I work. This is how my shit work, right? This is how I work. I know how stressful it is to put an album out, and I know how fucked up you be in the mind when you put an album out and shit. So I feel like if I do a video to Pretty and Petty as Fuck this week, or like today, cause not yet today, I feel like I'll be bullying. And I don't want to feel like a bully, because when I bully, then God takes from me. If the bitch ain't messing with me, if she didn't sub me in her fucking dusty ass album, I'm not gonna do a video like reciting, like, you know, her diss track and shit like that on a day that I know she's stressed. Because then God will punish me. So I'll do a video tomorrow morning to another song. Probably next week I'll do a video for Pretty and Pretty as Fuck. I'm going to be nice to you because it's your album day. So I don't want to add to your stress. I'm not that bad person that people think I am. God. Oh, child. No. Who are these people? Why can't I see people that I follow? I don't fucking know these people.
So there you have it. That was Cardi B. And so she basically wanted to share why she decided to postpone shooting her video for Pretty and Petty album, which I thought was quite interesting because everybody has something to say. You know, people have their own opinions about why she didn't bring it out, but I thought it was pretty cool why she did, and I thought she was actually being very professional and honestly very mature about it. Honestly, to be told, yeah, for real, like she could have definitely came out and did all that and you know, kind of messed up, deterred. You know, she was talking about Bia, and she could have definitely kind of, you know, jacked up her actual date, her outcoming date of her music. However, she chose not to do it, which I thought again was mature. And Bia did come on the Breakfast Club. I didn't tape that, but she actually came on the Breakfast Club and she kind of spoke on her album, and she seemed to be in a good place. And she kind of touched on how Cardi basically, you know, kind of settled down, basically, you know what I'm saying? So she could come out and do her album. So kudos to Cardi again for being considerate and empathetic and a professional, honestly. You can tell Cardi's been in the game a while and she's so chill, like I am not even gonna do it. And I thought it was funny that she said that you know, God was gonna get her, so she chose not to be a bully or whatever. And it's so funny because the name of the particular album is Pretty and Petty, and so she chose not to be petty, but just to be pretty. So kudos to her on that. Yeah, no, beefing in the rap world, it keeps it interesting and competitive. However, mature individuals that know when to stand and allow the other person to shine in their own time. So I feel like Cardi in this case was showing strategy and self-awareness. So she knows when to bring the heat and then she knows when to back off. And that's the things that I've noticed lately with Cardi. She knows when to pull back and just like chill out. Like, girl, like she's already hit like platinum. Like, come on. There's no need to trip. So good for her to know that. So now, y'all, we talked about that. Now, I did want to share another part of her clip. Again, this live she did was a bit long, but I found it to be interesting. So on this next live, let's get into the clips, and then I'll come back and give you my commentary on why I thought it was noteworthy to even play it. Let's get into this next clip. It is from Cardi. It's from her other live. Let's go. All right. And this one is about the rant. Let's get into it.
Anyways, but let me tell you something, right? So, you know, I'm trying to help my friend get an apartment and shit. And I'm like, yo, why don't you just get an apartment in the Bronx? And they was telling me how, like, it's like, yo, it's expensive to look at apartments in the Bronx. And I'm like, oh, here you go. Here you go with your excuses now. Yo, why I go on Street Easy and I start to look for apartments in the Bronx for them? Yo, why rent is so expensive? How the fuck is rent so expensive in the most fucking cheapest borough? I can't even imagine how much rent will be in Brooklyn where them Chinese people be living at. Or in Queens. Queens is expensive, period. You're not getting nothing if it's not $2,500. Like, all right, so in Highbridge, right? How the fuck a apartment, a 1-bedroom, is like $1,500 in Anderson? I will never live in Anderson. Let me tell you something. One thing about Anderson, the block Anderson, Highbridge, I wouldn't even live there even if there was an apartment there for $600. I could tell you this, living in Anderson is worse than living in the projects. Because like I remember when I was a teenager, my aunt, she lived in Anderson for 2 years and I was living in Nelson Ave. Everybody knows I'm from Nelson Ave. Yo, when I tell you she lived in that building right next to the stairs, crackheads used to be there all day. People used to throw bottles, garbage, from the building. It's just too fucking dangerous. So how the fuck a 1-bedroom, white refrigerator is $1,500 in Highbridge? I don't know how people surviving. I am so sorry for asking y'all to buy my album. And this is how the economy is right now. That like the rent is so fucking high and crazy in the Bronx. No matter where. I am so sorry. Tashai said $3,000 in New Rochelle for a 1-bedroom. Oh, I remember when all the fucking stripper bitches they used to work in and Suze used to move to New Rochelle. It is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all, that I told y'all to buy my album. And it's not that I don't realize, it's just I haven't been paying attention. Like, it's like I haven't been paying attention how much people been paying for the rent. And I hate the fact that sorry, it's just and I hate the fact that I know if you was to say something to the Trump administration about the cost of living right now, they'll be like, yeah, suck it up. You know what I don't like? I don't like that there's a lot of single people. There's a lot of students. There's a lot of people that are working 9 to 5. And because they're working, they don't get no help from the government. And I always hated that. It always been like this for a long time. But I hate that it's like those are the people that they give a hard time. I mean, yes, of course, we should always help more the people that have kids and the elderly and shit. But sometimes, like, somebody that works, like, I know a lot of people that have regular jobs and they're like literally crying because they can't survive. And it's just like, yo, they need to give vouchers or something or make it easier to get fucking food stamps. Because it's just like, all right, your whole check is going, literally your whole check. I knew it was always a scam like a couple of years ago when they said that they was gonna raise the wages and shit. And it's just like, I cannot believe, because I remember like a year ago, I helped somebody get an apartment. And now I'm helping somebody else get an apartment now. And the rent is even higher. And it's like, I cannot believe, like, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck. 85% of the Bronx, no matter how clean you is, no matter how many times you take out the garbage, you're most likely 85%, you're going to most likely have roaches in your crib. And it's like, it's so crazy that like people have to pay so much money for fucking rent, and you still gotta worry about roaches, bites, every type of motherfucking creature in the fucking mosquitoes. And I feel so bad because I didn't realize how quickly they raised the rent prices, and I'm out here asking y'all to buy my album and shit. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Like, when I was looking at those rent prices, I was so fucking disgusted. They need to give people, like, just because you don't have kids, they need to make it a little bit easier to get welfare, to get a little something, to get a little help. Cause how the fuck you motherfuckers surviving? Y'all gonna have to sell pussy, dick, and balls. God damn. They're really violating. I do wonder. Somebody said, oh, my daughter picture day tomorrow. My daughter had picture day today. That's funny. Do you think we will ever have a president or someone in office that genuinely cares about the people and wants to see people live? It really just fucking depends, to be honest with you. I just feel like right now the world is in a reset. Well,
Okay, y'all, there we have it. So that was like her Cardi B. Sorry, I thought I actually deleted some of it out because Cardi B is Cardi B now. She gonna speak it how she wants to say it. But regardless of all of that, she has some good points. First of all, she did apologize to her fan base for asking them to buy albums because she's like, I didn't know rent was this high because she heard her say that she helped a friend like last year, and compared to this, she helped another friend this year, and compared to this, the rent was so high, and she was just so shocked by that. And I just thought it was quite interesting that someone in Cardi B's shoes, she could actually understand and relate to like what's going on. And she also kind of addressed the administration. I didn't want this to be anything related to politics, but I just thought it was noteworthy that even Cardi B noticed that like rent is high and it's really expensive out here. Now, the other part is Cardi B she does connect with her fan base very well because she gave some very common, like it's very basic common sense stuff that to me makes her relatable because she did say she even she said the rent is high, and she was like she empathized with those who are just of the working class, and she also even gave a solution. I mean, the solution might be temporary, but she did offer a solution. She was like, why isn't there help for just common workers? I tend to agree with that. I mean, especially in times like these. She went on to say something about, like the students and single people, because we know obviously children and seniors definitely need help, but the common workers need help in this economy right now because it seems to be tight for most people right now because things are so high, food is high, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was pretty noteworthy on her part that she noted that. Now, she did go on in her live with some more things. I didn't play the live in its entirety, but go check it out. It is on an Instagram story, but I just chose not to play the whole thing because it would have been way too long. But like I said, I see why she totally gets it. I'm not going to lie. Hate her or love her, she really does get it, even with ice, okay? Totally get it. She gets it. And again, I understand why people can relate to her because she gets it. Anyway, y'all, we are going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to come back with some more tea. So hang tight. We'll be back and give me 5 minutes. Grab you some water, tea, whatever you had, snack, whatever, and we'll be back. Okay. Already. Okay. So I'll be right back. Give me just a second. And we're going to come back with some more tea. Okay. All right. Okay, y'all, welcome back to the live. Thank you for waiting. Let's get into the next segment, okay, y'all? So, y'all, we need to talk about our girl Porsha Williams and the new girlfriend situation because the math ain't mathing and I got receipts. So, let's get into that, okay? All right. So just a second. All right. Let me just share a little bit. I'm going to share something with you. Yep. Miss Porsha Williams. Okay. So y'all, now news on the street that is Miss Porsha Williams has a girlfriend. Okay. So you can see on the screen, it's kind of flipping through a little fast, but let's get into it. Let's get into the receipts on why I think that Porsha Williams, that this whole situation is fake, and I got receipts. The first thing is, y'all, listen. First thing is, check it out. Remember when she was with Simon? The engagement, like we was like, y'all, this is fake from back in 2021. We was thinking, no, this is fake. But then they had the whole marriage, they had the whole wedding, the African wedding, which the wedding was beautiful, but they had the homes, the cars, and all the things. That's the first thing. The second thing is the whole timing. The marriage storyline dried up. So cameras start rolling and bam, a new romance. And she has to flip from a man to a woman to steer in her audience. And then number three, or my third reason, is Sway. Now Sway is the lady that was just showed you on the screen. Sway gets national exposure for her salon franchise. That's right, she's a franchise owner, and for her it would be promo worth millions. Now, the next reason is because, or this is allegedly, honey, sources say Sway may have paid to be on the show. Now, that's definitely allegedly. Those resources are saying she paid. And, you can do that. But, that's what the word on the street is. And lastly, honey, is Kenya Moore. Kenya already called. Kenya said even cast members smell some fishy. And they did smell some fishy. We all did. So yeah, those are my reasons why I think this could possibly, I'm speculating, could be fake. So moving on to the next. So the biggest thing you need to know is this. Not Cardi, she's on my brain. That Porsha, this whole situation, Porsha needed a storyline. Like she needed one badly, and I think that is really the main reason why she's. I want to say trying to spin the narrative. She's really spinning the narrative. She needed a storyline. So you got to think about it. So remember, we got to roll back to Mr. Simon. Simon was the first storyline. She married Simon by all means necessary, right? He was married, and clearly they just like didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. She waited. They got a divorce quickly. These two were married, and then there's the storyline. But now again, like I said, that storyline's gone, and here we have Sway. Sway, as you can see, was introduced in the Housewives of Atlanta, season 17. And you could even tell by the whole body, the mannerisms. Like, come on now, really? She's the new storyline. But let's talk about it. So there is a difference between Simon and Sway. Basically, the difference between Simon and Sway is this. Simon said he was like used. He felt like he was taken advantage of. And so he basically said he was a victim. Now, Sway, on the other hand, it seems like this is more of a win-win. This is a business deal. It seems to be more a mutual situation. So that's the deal, the difference between the two. One is mutual and one was allegedly, he didn't know, right? He didn't know. It was unknown to him until all of it hit the fan. They went through this whole divorce and da. So that is the biggest thing I think of this whole take. Is the reason why we think that it's fake. For the main reason is that she just needed a storyline. And honestly, like I said, this is truly, if it is true, this is totally a win-win for both parties. Actually, all parties. It's a win-win for Porsha for the storyline. Sway gets all the promotion, and then the Housewives of Atlanta also, they get the views, right? So I think it's a win-win for all parties at hand. But you know what people do? You got to remember that reality TV really is fake TV. Reality TV, to me, I really think it's just more entertainment, because reality show is really not reality. And people go out of their way for a storyline. Like they risk their privacy, even their freedom, for a persona, an image, or a storyline. And speaking of, there's a couple out by the name of Wendy Osefo and Eddie Osefo from Real Housewives of Potomac, and I didn't pull that. But those two, they were picked up on 16 counts of insurance fraud, right? And they were bailed out on $50,000, right? They were bailed out for $50K. Now that tells you the extent that people go to just be, have a certain persona or image. Like they risk their entire freedom. That's crazy to me. But yeah, people go out of their way for this. All right, they really do. So reality TV, again, the key is to remember it's just straight up entertainment. It's all it is. But people, they really do risk everything for it. They do. So anyway, that's my whole thing. That's why I think Portia's whole storyline is fake. I really do. Okay, we're gonna move on. Let me know what you think. Do you think Portia's storyline is fake, or do you think she really is into Miss this lady Miss Sway? Let me know what you think. Okay, or you know what? It could be both. It could be a storyline, a business deal, and she could be into her. It's possible. All right, y'all. So that's that. Let me know what you think about our girl Portia. Okay, all right. Now let's move on and get a quick update on Mr. P. Diddy, and also we want to touch on Derreck Grove. So first, let's talk about Derreck Grove. Derreck Grove is the 10th escapee out of Louisiana, and it took them 5 months, and they finally found him. So let's get into this video clip, okay? It's gonna give us some of the details. All right, let's get into it. And I'll come back with my quick commentary. Remember, y'all, this is just an update. We've been kind of following this story for quite some time. Let's get into this, okay? Hold on.
Escapee Derreck Groves has been released by authorities in Atlanta and is now back in Louisiana to face charges.
Well, Groves is considered the most dangerous of the 10 men who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center in May. He was awaiting sentencing after being convicted on 2 counts of murder, and he's linked to 2 other murders. Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams says he will be held at Angola as he awaits trial on the new charges tied to the escape.
So y'all, there you have it. It's just a quick update on our guy, Derreck Groves, y'all. That story. We've been following that story for quite some time, literally over 5 months. Now, the crazy thing about Derreck Groves is they found, like I said, they found Derreck Groves in Atlanta, Georgia. If you didn't know, Louisiana, the distance between Louisiana and the car is in Atlanta, Georgia, and Louisiana is 580 miles. So here's the question. How did Derreck get to Atlanta? I just want to know. Somebody had to help him, okay? And it's going to be interesting to find out who helped him because, again, as I always say when we're talking about this story, somebody's in trouble. Somebody's going to do some time behind Derreck, okay? Rest assured of that. And you said, well, Miss T, why do you say that? Well, I say that because all the money and the time they spent looking for these fugitives. They spent a lot of money looking for them, a lot of manpower and time. Also, I think the biggest of all is the absolute embarrassment. Don't you think that they're embarrassed that they lost 10 whole inmates? They escaped and they couldn't even find the last one for like 5 months. Yeah, I think embarrassment, if nothing else, they're going to find out who did it. Whoever did it, they're in trouble. And I think they're going to definitely do whatever they need to do to apply the law to them to the fullest extent, right? So, nevertheless, anyway, there's an update on our Derreck. So they picked up Derreck, and I'm sure there's more to come, more of the story to unravel, even though they got the last one. I'm sure they're going to pick up someone else, and we're going to find out who that person is soon. There's no way they're going to let this ride. No way, y'all. Okay, y'all, let's keep it pushing, keep it moving, and let's get into our last update on who P. Diddy. Now, we've been talking about P. Diddy for, over a year, actually for years, but for the most lately, here, almost a year, because we were watching he had one of the biggest cases ever, public cases that we've been watching it. But however, we know he's already been sentenced and all the things for 50 months and all that. He allegedly supposed to get out in a few months. I think they said around 29 months or so. I'll hold me to it. Again, that's just speculation based on the information that we have. But the biggest thing is recently here so when the government circles Star Island, it's not just about real estate, it's about empire erosion. Diddy's mansion isn't just a home, it's a symbol of mogul status, not caught in the crossfires. So, the feds, reportedly preparing to seize Sean Diddy's combo Star Island mansion in Miami under civil forfeiture laws. This move is part of a broader investigation tied to trafficking charges and is significant because civil forfeiture allows the government to take property even without a conviction. I thought that part was really interesting, y'all. Think about it. They can actually take the property just based on a civil versus it's not even a convention. I thought that was crazy, but yeah, they can. So Diddy owns 2 homes on Starling, 1 Starling, 2 Starling Island. So 1 and 2. The one most directly reported is Star Island 1, which he purchased from Gloria and Emily. Oh, Emilio Estefan. Okay, hello. I know they are. For $35 million. It's the same property he offered as collateral in his failed $50 million bill. Remember that he offered $50 million bill, and they were like, nope, which is crazy, insane. Yeah, that was crazy. But the mansion was raided by Homeland Security agents, and recent reports show a a realty company's vehicle parked outside, suggesting it may be prepped for sale or seizure. So yeah, those were my notes. Sorry, apparently I couldn't read my own notes, but so that's what we have there. Nothing really big. I know right now in the Diddy situation, I know they're trying to find him a actual facility to go to. I think that's right now something that he can go to and continue to recover from, drug use and also be close to his family. That much I've seen in several reports. But that's all we have, y'all. That's it. I was just giving you a quick update, quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay, all right. So let's do a run back and we're going to do a quick review. If you missed it, I'm going to do a quick review and then a wrap up, and then we're going to be done. Okay. Again, if you're coming through on the replay, be sure to like the video, share the video, and if nothing, leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about these different topics. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's do a run back, just a quick wrap up. So, first of all, y'all, we talked about Miss Angel Reese. And Angel Reese, again, is a basketball player. We talked about how she's the first one to be a Victoria's Secret model. Kudos to her. We did more than touch. We talked about Cardi B and the Bia back and forth, and also her Pretty and Petty album, the delay there, and also about Cardi B. She kind of gave us a rant on Rent, exactly what I said. And then we want to talk about Miss Porsha, honey, and her fake, allegedly, I'm just saying, in my opinion, a fake relationship. I think it's fake. I could be wrong. Again, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Do you think the relationship was fake, or do you think the relationship is she really in a true relationship? I really think, I'm gonna say it one more time. I think it could be all of the above. Actually, it doesn't have to be. It could be that it is business, but it also could be romantic. It could be a win-win. It could be all the way across the board. But who knows? Time will definitely tell what's what. It definitely will tell what's what. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what we talked about there. And then lastly, again, we spoke on P. Diddy, just a quick update. And we also just gave you an update on the Louisiana escapees. They finally found number 10. And so there we have it. Okay, so y'all, thank you for coming through, whether you're on the replay. I do appreciate your support. And also, welcome to the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Chit Chat Community Tribe. All that. Okay, y'all, it's been great. It's been grand. As I always say, we can't change you, and that's only can change ourselves. Focus on the things you can control and not on things you can. I'll be back with another one. Thank you and goodbye. See ya.